storm damage. On the bottom of the roots of the trees, they noticed a shiny rock. They sent it to Washington, they had it analyzed, they came back as a rich deposit of iron ore. So in 1870, right after the Civil War, they attempted to start mining ore out this mine. And they started right at the beginning of the hill where we're going to be going in.
Wow,
And the
very
first
cool.
thing they hit was the Loretto slate that was 17% iron. But back then you had to have at least 50% iron in order to make profit. Today with modern technology, all you need is 18%. So they kept tunneling. They hit the Curry Iron Formation, that was 23%. Then they hit the Briar Slate, that was 35%. Then they hit the Traders Iron Formation. That was over 50%, but they're looking for a large deposit, so they kept tunneling. They hit their second Briar Slate, their second Traders Iron Formation, still a large deposit. They tunneled farther, and they hit the Football Slate. That was nothing but soft rock, so they knew they were going in the wrong direction. So they came back to the Traders Iron Formation. They went in 250 yards to the west, and that's where they hit their first large ore deposit known as the Small Stope, where they mined out 2 million tons of iron ore. And that ore was 62%. A stope is an English word meaning large mined out cavity. While they were mining that out, they went back to the original Traders Iron Formation and they tunneled farther, and that's where they hit their second large ore deposit known as the Large Stope, where they mined out over 22 million tons of iron ore. And that ore was over 72%. It's known as spectacular hematite. It's so rich you can even make jewelry out of it. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be starting at the beginning of the hill. We're going to go in a quarter mile by train. We're going to get on the walk, and we're going to visit the two stopes. On the way to the two stopes to the mines, we're going to stop at a couple locations where mining equipment. I'm going to explain the equipment and different techniques that the miners use. If there's any questions at that time, I'll be happy to answer them. Or if there's any questions along the line here, I'll also be happy to answer them. This mine shut down in 1945. In 1945, the war ended and the price ore dropped from 40 a ton to 20 tons, so they shut it down. This machine right here is an electric locomotive. They got electricity in mine about 1920. It was a big advantage because with this electric locomotive, they pull 6 of those dump cars or 24 tons. With the first machine operated by compressed air, they go into one. It operated on the same principle like a streetcar. It had overhead voltage, 2300 volts. This right here is a rotor drill. It's used for boring purposes. They use this to bore out their elevator shaft, and it's still used today in modern day mining. And that rotor drill right there was invented by Howard Hughes' father. Just to show you how heavy iron ore is, that stone right there with a hole in it is 62% iron and it weighs almost 300 pounds.
Wow.
It doesn't take much to make a ton. These are various tools that the miners use. Those drills and busters were used by miners for going through soft rock. Those saws were used by miners for cutting timbers, for shoring, scaffolding, and decking. That basket was used if a miner got hurt. They lowered down the elevator shaft and hoist them up. That U-shaped outfit hanging up there, that was a hay fork for feeding mules. Before they had compressed air, they hauled forward by mule. This right here is a loading conveyor. They have a belt on there. They can stockpile ore or go in dump carts. These are hand drills they use for going through soft rock before they had compressed air. This right here is one of the original air compressors.
Oh, he doesn't want to do it?
And that air compressor right there was used in the later years in the mine after they got electricity, and that's the air compressor we're using today right now.
Make it his money back.
They had a whistle, they blew it 3 times a day, 6, 12, and 6. It was so accurate that people involved in Michigan go to hill, they set a clock light. If it blew off your regular hour, they knew there was something wrong. Maybe one of their friends or relation got hurt, they come up here and help it any way they could. Be careful. Okay, that's all sound. If we're going back there with a lot louder, we're going to wake up the town.
What?
This right here is a canister. They keep their blasting fuses in here. They have speeder chips in there. They keep the blasting fuses nice and dry so they go off. They started mining in 1870. The first company to start mining down here was Milwaukee Mining Company. They told Frisco for 6 years. They never hit no gold ore of any quantity. So in 1876, they sold out to Menominee Mining Company. The following year, Menominee Mining Company, they hit a good vein. Within 10 days, they shipped and produced 17,000 tons of iron ore out of this mine. Then in 1881, the Menominee Mining Company, they sold out to the Penn Mining Company. After the Penn Mining Company took over, this machine was invented. It's a diamond drill. It's operated by compressed air. They would hold this machine up on a hill with a team of horses, and they feed down 100-foot shafts to the top. Depending on how deep they want to go, they just keep on adding 100-foot shafts. Once they put a 100-foot shaft in there, turn the air on, it'll be self-feeding. On the bottom of the shaft there'd be diamonds, either industrial or black diamond. It would ream into the earth. The center of the shaft was hollow. So up through the center of the hollow shaft come these cores. They break off a core sample up 800 feet. They had an analyzer in Vulcan. You could tell them exactly what they had in 2 weeks. So they knew exactly what they had and where they had it. This machine took the guesswork out. If they would have had this machine when they first started, it would only took them 6 months instead of 7 years. And this diamond drill right here was made right in Crystal Falls, Michigan. Every once in a while, they'd be tunneling in, and they'd hit an underground stream. So they have to pump water 24 hours a day. That's one of their piston pumps right there. If for some reason the pumps weren't running, the miners had a day off work, we're okay. That's how far the pumps were. Does anybody have any questions? No questions? Okay, the train should be here shortly. This silver pipe right there, we use that to air condition the building. It stays 38 degrees in the mine year round. We got that pipe in a short distance. We got a blower on the other end. It's hot. Okay, you pull it up the line to air condition the building. That machine you see on the other side of the track is called a jumbo. One miner could sit on that, it could go 4 different directions. The only bad thing about the jumbo was, you go down the right, right out there in the middle, that cover extension, you have that in the working tunnel, that's how you stay covered. Come down the elevator shaft, that's how it's going along the back. Oh yeah. When you're going through on the train on the tunnel, you notice some white stuff on the side of the tunnel. That stuff is called calcium. It goes 20 temperatures here. And when you're going through on the train, you go to different spots where it's short up. The first spot where it's short up is right at the beginning because it's brown there. It says iron ore. The next spot where you're going through on the train, you notice the spot where it's short up where it says rose quartz. Okay, this iron vein was formed by a volcano.
And here we go. Okay, sit back. Look up. Ooh, already chilly. 100 feet in.
Oh, look at that!
Hey, stay by us. What? Let's stop to the sideway. Come on. Grandma. Pretty cool.
Hi.
Hi. Alex.
Went on my head. Yeah, it dripped on your head. All right, guys.
There's Mom. Hi, Mom.
Did it right here on my feet really? I know. Or is it just so vibrant? Yeah.
Keep walking, Alex. Stay in front of me.
Why don't you want?
Just keep up to him, please. Because you're slowing down. You're going to fall on me.
It does. It's nothing even.
Okay, when the miners first started mining at the beginning of the hill, this is all they had. They had a star drill like this. So one miner would hold a star drill to the wall, and there'd be two miners, one each side with a sledgehammer, and they hit it. They hit it as hard as they could. Every time they hit it, the guy held a bit, you turn an eighth of a turn. It was a real slow process. In order to make one dynamite blast, they had to have 13 holes 4 feet deep. So where we started at the beginning of the hill to where we parked the train, that was almost a quarter of a mile. It took them 4 years to get that far. But then this drill was invented. It's called a liner drill. It's named after the man that invented it, Frank Liner. This machine could do in 1 hour what it took 2 miners to do in 10. But the bad thing about this drill was it made a lot of dust, and miners were coming down with black lungs. So Mr. Liner started thinking how he could improve his machine and get rid of dust. He hollowed out the center of the drill bit, put a hose on the side, he forced water through the center of the drill bit, he got rid of the dust. But being so cold down here, 38 degrees year-round, all the water, miners were coming down with pneumonia and other diseases. So they weren't much better off. Being so damp down here, lots of times their dynamite wouldn't go off. This right here is a dynamite heater. What they do, they build a charcoal fire, then they place their sticks of dynamite in this heater, and then they set that on hot charcoals. Then there'd be a better chance the dynamite would be dry, and when they came to use it, most likely would ignite. The type of dynamite they used was made out of nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin dynamite, you have to have a blasting cap to ignite it. You can actually take a stick of nitroglycerin dynamite and place it in the fire, it'll just burn, it won't explode. But I wouldn't recommend anybody try it, because it might pick up the wrong type, and there's such a thing as product tampering. So if you ever got to get rid of any explosives, don't burn it. Call the police department, they'll get rid of it for you. Back then, boys could start working down here at age 11. At age 11, their job would be to feed the mules and guide the mules out, and they'd be getting 7 cents an hour. And you girls were all lucky because you never let girls work in mine. Okay, is there any questions? No questions? Okay, notice when we're going through the tunnel now, we're going to be going slightly uphill. It was built that way intentionally, so when the mules had a full of ore, they'd be going downhill. Excuse me?
You're not hot anymore, are you?
Cold.
I'm cold.
I can say that.
Yeah, salmon.
Up there.
It'll work off the lunch we just did.
Whoa, yes,
I'm looking for bats for you guys.
you find any bats?
Oh, I wish I could find a light switch right now. It'd be worth the screams. Oh God, yeah. Whoa, yeah? Let's go this way instead of that way. Look, light switch.
Turn it on.
No, just kidding.
Cool, that one's broken. Turn it on. Thanks. Whoa, what? What's up?
Whoa, where's that go? Funny little kid disappears. Okay. I wonder if you
Just bring it over this area and I'm gonna shut the lights off.
Come here, stand by me.
Okay, this right here is the small stove. This is where they hit their first large ore deposit, where they mined out 2 million ton of iron ore. Okay, I'm gonna shut these lights off for a minute. Okay, when the miners were working down here, they were working in groups of 5. And this all they had for light on top of their hard hat was this candle. But no matter where you were in the mine, when the dynamite blast went off, it sucked up all available oxygen. So I'm going to blow this out for a second now, just to show you how it was after dynamite blast. This is how it was after dynamite blast. Total darkness. So that's what you're up against. But then in 1910, they invented the carbide light. It's similar to light I have on my hat, only mine is battery operated. The carbide light, there'll be calcium carbide on the bottom, water on the top. When the water dripped on the calcium carbide, it formed like acetylene gas. Didn't have a flinter inside, they'd strike it, they'd have their light. Same thing with the carbide light. No matter where you were in the mine, when the dynamite blast went off, your lights were out. But this one was a little more tricky to get relit. You have to find a wire on the side of your shirt, you have to find a hole that's plugged in the dark and ream it out, real tricky to get lit. But once one miner got his lit, the others could see what they're doing, they could light theirs, they're back to work. One unique thing about the carbide light was it had a built-in safety device. If the oxygen level got too low or bad, it'd automatically go out, and the miners knew there's something wrong with the air, they'd go up to the surface for safety. Other things they used to test the air were fish, rats, and canaries. If those species start dying off, they knew there's something wrong with the air. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get these fish to come out. We got trout in there. We got brook trout, rainbow trout, and brown trout. Hopefully they'll come out. We'll see what happens. Okay, this stream right here just happens to be at this level. But this stream right here gives us all kind of problems. We're pumping constantly from the back of this stream into our stove. If we wouldn't do that, water would be running out the tunnel right now. And right now, we're 425 feet underground, and we have underground streams above us, and the temperature of underground streams is 38 degrees, and this iron ore acts just like a stainless steel thermos bottle. It holds the temperature of those streams. So because of that, it stays between 38 and 43 degrees down here year-round. And this is the upper portion of the small stove, where they mined out the majority of the ore in the small stove here. They mined out to the right of us and below us. And they went down 1,100 feet, and they create 1,100-foot cavity, and right now there's 1,000 feet of water in that cavity. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, I gotta be the last one out of here. So you follow the lights, right at the beginning of town when we first came in the small stope, you notice a vertical drill sticking up. It's called the stoper's drill. When you get there, stop. It's right at the beginning of town when we first came in the small stope. I gotta make sure what's up on means is when the miners got here, they branched off in 3 different directions looking for ore. This machine right here is the stoper's drill. It's also known as the widowmaker. It was considered the most dangerous job in the mine. The reason it's so dangerous is they're drilling vertically up and they're taking out 20-foot lifts in the working tunnel, 4 feet at a time with each dynamite blast. The first sequence wouldn't be bad. You'd be in a nice safe tunnel like that right here. They drill their 13 holes, they put a charge up there. Most of the iron ore comes down with the blast. Now they get a couple miners up on a scaffold. A lot of miners consider this even more dangerous than the actual drilling. They get up there on that scaffold, they had that poor lighting like I just told you about, and they start scraping down the loose iron ore rock that didn't come down with the blast. I showed you how heavy that iron ore was outside. They might get one on a toe, get a broken toe, they might get one on the head, get a concussion. They get done scraping, they start drilling again. They just got rid of their safety net. There might be a loose one up there yet. Well, if they hit something soft, the whole mess could come down on them. Even though it was so dangerous, they had a waiting list to get on this drill because they paid 3 cents an hour more. They got 13 cents an hour to upgrade this drill. Is there any questions?
Wait, boys.
Oh, yeah. See, you were gonna doubt. Keep walking. Go forward. Even now, you know, blind. Thank you.
Why did that fall down?
Yeah, you don't get lost. It's weird that it's so cold. Yeah. Whenever I see strange, during the birth and all that. Yeah, like dynamite.
Blasting fuse, you got a match? Somebody go tell that guy, somebody just lit the blasting fuse. Is there dynamite in there? Come on, Straggler, a little faster.
Oh, Mom, Tim? You need to go fast when it goes towards hand, okay?
Imagine in here with candles only.
Further into the mine,
There's a spot up here for the kids.
Okay, this right here is the large stove. That light you see at the other end is the air shaft that we put in. When you drove in the parking lot, if you notice the statue of Big John in the parking lot, that one was 40 feet high. This one right here is 10 feet high. The reason it looks so small is we're over 600 feet away. This right here is the large stove where they mined out over 22 million ton of iron ore. That red you see in the ceiling area is oxidized iron ore. The blue-gray stuff is iron ore from the same vein. You either never got wet and oxidized, or it's known as spectacular hematite. No matter how wet it gets, it won't oxidize or turn red. And that ore you can even make jewelry out of. Some of the green rock in the ceiling area is copper. Okay, this first floor cavity right here is only 50 feet deep. But on the other side of that rock ridge is a mined-out cavity 1,327 feet deep. Wow. So in other words, if you put the Empire State Building in there, all you'd see would be 50 feet of flagpoles sticking out. They shut the mine down in 1945. They pulled all the pumps out. They sold them. So within 2 years, the water rose to the water table of land. And because of that, there's a 1,200-foot deep lake on the other side of that rock ridge. Okay, when they put mining down here in 1945, the ceiling area was square like this. Then the sandstone let loose and caused it to cave, and that's made the dome shape in the ceiling area, and then those rocks landed on that ledge, and that's made a rock ridge. Okay, this is what happened. Once they discovered this large ore vein, they discovered it over half a mile in length. So a half a mile from where we're standing, that's quite dangerous. They're going up 100 foot straight, going off the scaffold with that stoper's drill. Then underneath every one of these haulage tunnels, they go down 25 feet, and they build a tunnel called the working tunnel. Then they take the stoper's drill in there, and they start drilling and blasting. They had 400 men working down here. They're working 3-hour shifts. They had men working every one of these tunnels at the same time. But they knew the right sequence, so they wouldn't bust the footing from the guy above them. They called it the step-down method. So what they do, they come and drill blast in the ceiling area. Then they come with the tugger and scraper, they scrape up the ore. They haul it over the rise. They have the underground dump car in there, they dump it in there. Then they haul it over the elevator shaft, and put it in a mucking bucket and hoist up the surface. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, no questions. I got the last one out here. Just call right to I'm right behind you.
How long did it take to build 600 feet to me?
Awesome,
Would you like to look over the edge? I would.
I would too.
Look at that piece of quartz right there. Holy Christ. Oh, the powder room. Let's go put some makeup on, huh? You.
Bladder and dirt. Yeah, water and dirt. I'm going to show you.
Little daring kid up there running away from us. Sweet. Nice. No running.
No running. Walk.
We gotta get far enough away from Mom and Dad so they can't see us. So. I am. I think this is like part 4.
Yeah.
Well, that's some pretty wild stuff. I'd like to come down here and explore.
I wanted to ask him if there's anything alive down here.
Why?
Just fish.
Fish,
I mean,
bats,
I don't know anything else that's down there.
mongoose. You guys didn't see that badger run by here, did you?
We're coming,
Choo choo. All the way. Come on, all the way down.
I get to see
Papa didn't make it all the way.
I told him he was so nervous about coming.
Alex.
You excited?
Move up a little bit. Might need to move down a little bit.
Let me scoot down a little more, yeah.
Marie?
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, there's room right here. We got a full train. Anywhere you can find a seat, you got to grab it. Right here. Okay, I'd like to thank you for taking the tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember to keep your feet and hands in it. If you're hard after those boots, hang on to it. Okay, here we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like in Vegas, everything you do, everything. They gotta make good money here. They charge you down here. Yeah.
Whoa. Shot for holding it there. Now this is where I like to explore.
Huh?
This is where I like to get into all those courts.
Yeah.
Where there's quartz, there's other rocks like gold. glasses are fogging.
Oh, wait, yeah, they are.
They do fog up, they do.
Okay, I have a...
Can't see.